Welcome to Reread, where I'm rereading through the expanded universe in chronological order. Folks, we are back to the comic books Dark Times, issues 6 through 12. I'm going to kind of tackle these both together. They're two different story arcs. The first story arc goes from 6 to 10. Basically, Das Junior is still gone. He's still trying to figure out who he is, so he's not in this. And there's a reason he took a break from it, because you're going to have the Celeste Morn big crossover. The big Star Wars crossover comic book series is going to interfere here. And Das Junior would not fit in properly to that storyline. There wouldn't be a good place for him, I think. And I think that's why they took him out of the storyline. Now these people, that crossover did not break up the flow of the story for the comic books, because issues 6 through 10 secretly, without telling you, set things up. At the very beginning, Jenks, who's one of Captain Heron's crew, gets captured. And it's like, well, are they going to rescue him? No, later. That's going to come into play when you get to the crossover. And then later on, another thing is that, Crook, Master Crook, the Whipped Jedi, he has a storyline just through 6 through 10 where it shows what happened to him during Order 66, how some Jedi died. He was protecting younglings. They crashed on a planet, escaping clone troopers, and now they're basically living there, where he's raising younglings on his own, well, with another Jedi Master. Some mercenaries also crash land on the planet after losing out on a big payload, oddly enough, to Captain Heron's team. Of course, coincidences are boundless in the expanded universe. And as they get to the planet, they realize there's Jedi younglings there, and ooh, these would fetch a good price. The new Empire's put heads on Jedi. So they're trying to capture them, and they're going to try to sell them, get off the planet and sell them. Well, Master Crook, who is not at the camp at the time the mercenaries get there, he's the one that has to free everyone with the help of the other Jedi Master. And the two of them together basically rescue the younglings. Master Crook kind of goes all Force Unleashed on the mercenaries at the end and just starts slaughtering them all in front of the younglings. The younglings have never seen him like this, and they're kind of afraid of him. Everyone's been quiet to him afterwards. And he tells the Jedi Master, he said, I've been in the Clone Wars for too long. Me cutting loose like that and doing what I did was not the Jedi way, and I need to start learning how to think differently. He's realizing that the war has changed him as a Jedi, and that worries him. It's a pretty good story arc, and Master Crook is a really interesting character. Now on the other side, Bomo is still with the Captain Heron's crew. His name is Sniffles. He's not very well fleshed out in the first 5 issues, but he's one of the crew members. He dies when this deal goes bad and the mercenaries take off. That we'll later on see Crook. So Sniffles dies, and you don't really care that much, because like I said, the only thing that he ever really did he was known for was, like, he didn't like to be called Sniffles. He had another name. Don't call me Sniffles. Okay, so you have to kill off some of the crew, I guess, to bring out the characters of the rest of them, because there's a huge crew there, and it's hard to kind of give everyone a character or give everyone some speaking room when there's so many characters on board. For instance, now Kryze is the girl there. She's a human female, and she gets a chance to shine in this 6 through 10 issues, where she connects to Bomo and says, hey, you're not the only one with family woes. I had family woes too. Her husband died at the beginning of the Clone Wars, and her son, and her were stranded on the planet that was, war-torn right now. The son got tested by a Jedi and found out he had a high midichlorian count and could be trained to be a Jedi. And she goes, I don't want you to take my child. He went, we don't take children. You must agree. Only if the parent agrees. See? Consistent with everything in the EU except Karen Travis's Republic Commando series, where Jedi steal babies. I still don't know where she gets that. Even though Kryze doesn't want to let go of her son, she knows if she hands him over to the Jedi get top priority off the planet. So he's guaranteed to be safe. She does that, only later discover, when Order 66 went through, that all the younglings at the temple were slaughtered. And, she's responsible for the death of her son. Now, oddly enough, as it goes back to, it's going back in between their story and Crook's story, Crook tells her son to get down from that tree before he hurts himself. So he is alive. He's one of the younglings that's under the care of Master Crook. So we're like, oh, there's going to be an eventual, reunion between the mother and child. That's nice. And anyway, Captain Heron and his crew get captured. They get imprisoned. They're getting tortured. Bomo escapes the prison, the torture chamber, while the torturers go on a lunch break. And He goes back to the ship as Kryze has returned. The captain said, fly without us. You know, where it's too late to save us, just come back, think of something later. So she's come back on the planet. She has no idea because she's never even killed someone, much less held a gun before. That's not her expertise. And Bomo says, don't worry, I'm the gun guy. So he loads it with all these guns and grenades, and she agrees to help him to kind of at least give him blasters to reload, you know, reloadable rifles and stuff like that. And we never hear of reloading a blaster or blaster rifle. We never hear of that in Star Wars, but it makes sense that an energy pack would eventually go dead. Seems like they go on forever. So as he's just blasting through the entire crew, he's getting out some of that aggression, Bomo is, from his family being dead and him having nothing to do about it. So he's trying to rescue the whole crew is what he's trying to do, because now that's his family. Now, after he breaks them all out, he kills all of them. He kills all the bad guys. And Captain Heron's like, wow, okay, you saved our lives. We owe you our life. Earlier, they talked about they had some special package, but even though Bomo had been with them on an adventure, they couldn't fully trust him yet. They like him, but they can't trust him immediately because they just got to know him, which makes sense, right? How many times in Star Wars have you seen, oh, you're with us? Okay, you're with us for one adventure for one day, and now we trust you with everything. That happens a lot. But here they're saying, hey, look, yeah, we had a little adventure together. Yeah, we're sorry about what happened to your wife and child, but we still don't trust you. I'm sorry, we don't know you well enough to trust you with all this special cargo. Well, after he has saved their lives, then they're going to tell him what they got. What did they have? Well, that's where the crossover issues come in issues 11 and 12. The crossover issues reveal that they have the obelisk where Celeste Morn is. They don't know what it is. They know it's something to do with the Jedi. They know it's like thousands of years old, and they know it gets more and more valuable over time. And they lucked out, and after this big battle over it, everyone killed themselves. And it just so happened that Captain Heron and his crew came and got this good prize, and they've just been waiting for a collector to come across and pay their, fee. Well, when one does, they're going to, give what we now know as the obelisk to that buyer. Now, of course, they got swindled and got betrayed by some mercenaries. Although he didn't give them the real obelisk, he gave them a fake because he felt like it may be a betrayal. Now that they're in the crossover, he's showing Bomo what it is. And immediately they're going, wow, this ties in perfectly. It doesn't feel like it disrupts the ongoing Dark Times storyline. In fact, Janks, who was captured at the beginning of issue number 6, Darth Vader, he got captured by the Imperials. Darth Vader wants to know because Darth Vader has learned that his crew has the obelisk. And so he forces Janks to give the location of his crew. Vader captures them all. It's almost like, was it Raiders of the Lost Ark, where now they have this obelisk. They don't know what's in there. Darth Vader thinks there's that Sith amulet that he's heard about that may be in there, but they don't know, and they're running tests on it. Well, Darth Vader can't wait. He just gets a lightsaber and just slices it right open, letting Celeste Morn out. She's calling out for Zane. Oh, by the way, there is a little holo video they found with all the junk around the obelisk, and one of them is a holo video of Griff talking, and it's just really funny. And then Zane coming in and saying, Griff, what are you doing? Oh, I was just telling a story, just a hologram. So we can see it's 4,000 years old, sir. That's how they date the obelisk. But anyway, Celeste Morn wakes up. Zane, what happened? Oh, wait, he didn't save me. I still got the necklace around my corner. I can still see that Sith who's trying to tell me to give in to the dark side or find a new host for him. And then Darth Vader, she sees Darth Vader, realizes he's Sith, and battles him because she doesn't want him to have the necklace. Now, the ghost Sith's like, yeah, give him the necklace. Ooh, I could be very powerful then. And she's kind of learning that she's been gone for in sleep status for 4,000 years. She's trying to fight off Vader, who kind of wants to turn her as an apprentice. But then he realizes, maybe I want that Sith amulet, because then I can be really powerful. Well, the Sith amulet, as you know, has that, shoots out that ray that can turn people into these Sith creatures or monsters. It's like an infection. That was in a long time ago, Knights of the Republic, if you're reading in chronological order. But you remember it immediately when she uses its power to flash and hit all the stormtroopers with it, and they all turn into monsters. And Darth Vader's like, screw this. This isn't worth it. I'm just going to leave him stranded on the planet. At first he thought he wanted the amulet, but then he has a vision of that Sith ghost may become his new master, and he doesn't want to serve anyone. He just wants the amulet for power, but it's not worth all this. And it says Darth Vader sees there is only death here, not opportunity, so then he leaves. Now the Force protects him from turning into one of the beasts, and they already established that earlier on. But now she's surrounded by a bunch of, these, I can't remember what they're called, but Sith beasts, and she's stranded on the planet. So then it's going to pick up later on where Rebellion will pick back up with the story. Again, it flows really well through Dark Times. It kind of makes sense a little bit. By the way, when Darth Vader is fighting all these, fighting the Jedi, and there's so much chaos going on, that's when Captain Heron and his crew and Bomo and all them break through their chains and escape. Just in time. Almost just in time. Because Kryze isn't feeling well. She got hit with the flash. And she looks up, her eyes are bleeding, her nose is bleeding, and Bomo goes, something's wrong with Kryze. And Captain Heron goes, that's not Kryze anymore. And then she turns into a monster and he just shoots and kills her. She's not going to get that reunion with her son. Again, I had forgotten about this. Very dark, very dark. We're building up the moment that Kryze in issue 6 says, oh, my son must be dead. And then it shows he's alive. Oh, okay, they're going to meet up again. Nope, because she died during the Vector crossover. Wow. Now, I remember I liked it. I remember it was dark. But I remember I liked Bomo and Dashunir. But whew, I love Captain Heron. I love his crew. And again, this one is a shocking death. More than Sniffles, who we really didn't get to know that well. Kryze, you really got to know well in the story arc right before the crossover series started. And so that she dies in Vector in a way that we understand because she got hit with the ray. We didn't see that, but you know, she just didn't make it out in time. And so she got hit with the ray and turned into one of those monsters. Wow. Tragedy after tragedy. And it's just great. It's just great. I'm really enjoying Dark Times, probably more than I did the first time. Like at this point, I'm wondering, should this be in my top 5 best comics too? Because I didn't. I would have it in my top 10. I always kind of had it in my top 10. But now, looking at all, just how dark it really is, and how it kind of, you know, subverts your expectations. I know it's a bad thing to say these days, but yeah, you thought they were going one way and they went another. It's really awesome. It's really bold of the writers to do that. So can't wait to read more, but until next time, it's going to have to be a book. See you then.